Hey, guess what? So this guy is Russia's foreign minister, Lavrov. He's been that for a while. And he says, if you believe the U.S. has the right to declare a threat to its national interest any place on earth, like they did in Yugoslavia, Iraq, Libya, Syria, 10,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean, that they have the right to do so, and you don't ask them any questions? And Russia, not just overnight, like they did in Iraq and elsewhere, but for more than 10 years, Russia was warning them, guys, you are doing something which is going to be very bad, not across the ocean, but just on our borders, on territories where Russia lived for centuries and centuries. If this is not a double standard, then I am not a minister, he says. Hey, pal, this is what I say to him. It's called full spectrum dominance, okay? And it's the law. Wait, actually, no, it breaks most of the international laws, but we are the law, meaning the United States and NATO.
Yeah.
So you want to hear him say it? Listen what he said.
Have you been interested during these years what is going on in Iraq, what is going on in Afghanistan?
No. No. The guy should answer, no, I have not been interested. I forgot about the whole thing like I'm supposed to. I only care about whose no-no words are said on Twitter.
Yeah, that and Ukraine are my two main issues.
Have you been interested during these years what is going on in Iraq, what is going on in Afghanistan? Have you been asking the United States and NATO whether they are certain of what they are doing? When they now Scholz, Baerbock, Macron and others say this is the first time when the OSCE Helsinki Final Act is being violated. They don't remember about 1999 when Serbia was bombed?
So he's pointing out all the times that the United States has done horrible stuff that they're saying Russia's doing in Ukraine. Well, the United States did Libya, the United States did Iraq, the United States did Syria, the United States did Afghanistan for 20 years. We're occupying a third of Syria right now, the oil part. And the president of the United States said the reason why there are American troops in Syria is so we can steal their oil. Who said that? The president of the United States said that. And so he's pointing out the unbelievable hypocrisy. And some people in the crowd applauded. Hang on.
When Joe Biden, being a senator at that time, he was bragging that 1 year before the bombing of Serbia, I promoted this approach. And I believe that we have to bomb them out into peace. When Iraq was ruined as a state, after Colin Powell showed a vial with some powder, and then a few years later, Tony Blair said, yes, it was a mistake. What to do?
No, but that is a lesson which needs to be learned.
Wait a second. If you believe that the United States has the right to declare a threat to its national interest, any place on earth, like they did in Yugoslavia, in Iraq, in Libya, in Syria, 10,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean, and they have the right to do so, and you don't ask them any questions. And Russia, not just overnight, like they did in Iraq and elsewhere, but for more than 10 years, warning them, guys, you are doing something which is going to be very bad.
But I think the question has been asked.
One second. Not across the ocean, but just on our borders, on the territories where the Russians lived for centuries and centuries and centuries. So, if it is not a double standard, then I'm not a minister, you know.
You can't argue with what he's saying. I mean, you can, but you would be wrong. So This guy says, to be honest, he does kind of have a point. However, you don't hear stories of mass atrocities and such when America goes to protect its interests. Come on! How many millions of people have we killed in the last 20 years in the Middle East?
Mistake. If it's for a good cause.
We have a torture program. We had a torture program. We still have torturing people in Guantanamo Bay. We have a torture facility in Cuba. This guy points out that a quote from General MacArthur about what we did in Korea, how we just slaughtered those people. And the quote was, we went over there and fought the war and eventually burned down every town in North Korea. Over a period of 3 years or so, we killed off about 20% of the population in Korea. Hey, Vietnam War, 44 years on, birth defects from America's Agent Orange are increasing. But so this is all to so morons like this, to be honest, America doesn't do atrocities.
Oh, I thought he was saying, well, complaining they don't report them.
No, he's saying,
actually going, well, I never heard of it, so.
That's what he's saying, right?
No, you're right. I read that so wrong because I can't even believe he's saying that. How he's saying it.
Maybe that, well, he did get ratioed, so I'm guessing.
No, he's a moron.
So he means it sincerely.
I didn't have the capacity to understand someone being that stupid, and still, I guess.
So we did that in Korea? I just thought it was made up stuff, like when Kim Jong-il said he invented the hamburger.
Yeah, they make stuff up.
So there it is. There's your so yeah, okay, Vietnam War was completely embarrassing for our military-industrial complex. So let's just call it even.
Agent Orange, another thing, like the Havana syndrome, that it's not real, but they're going to pay for it. That's another thing they didn't want to pay them for.
They don't want to pay them for Agent Orange, but they will pay them for Havana syndrome. No one knows with certainty how many people have been killed and wounded in Iraq since 2003 United States invasion. However, we know that between 275,000 and 306,000 civilians have died from direct war-related violence caused by the United States, its allies, the Iraqi military, and police. We've got a bigger kill list, kill count for sure, than Al-Qaeda. The violent deaths of Iraqi civilians have occurred through aerial bombings, shelling, gunshots, suicide attacks, and fires started by bombing. Many civilians have also been injured because not all war-related deaths have been recorded accurately by the Iraqi government.
That's amazing. You don't really think it. Well, we killed more of these people protecting them by accident than the people who are trying to kill them on purpose. It's like idiocracy.
Because not all war-related deaths have been recorded accurately by the Iraqi government and the U.S.-led coalition, the numbers are likely much higher. Several estimates based on random... So yeah. Hey, guess what else we did? We also used chemical weapons. We used phosphorus in Fallujah. It's a war crime. Hey, thank you for your service. Julian Assange is enduring unbearable persecutions for exposing U.S. war crimes. Why do you think we're persecuting Julian Assange? Because he did something illegal?
He exposed state secrets. That's what someone literally said to me.
I wonder why we don't hear about United States mass atrocities, Kurt, when this is what we do to the people who tell us about the United States mass atrocities. You wonder why you don't hear about them? Maybe that's why you don't hear about them. Julian Assange is enduring unbearable persecution. What are they not using his proper pronouns?
What?
He didn't even mention Afghanistan because the list of U.S. wars is so long.
Well, the joke's on him because we haven't declared war since 1940.
That's right.
Or 40.
Korea was a policing action
that we also lost. We haven't won a war since
World War II,
or had a war,
right. We just don't call them wars, so you can't call it a loss.
That's not weird, is it?
Right. If you want to see my stand-up special, become a member at jimmydork.com. It's only $10, and come see our live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, Palm Springs, Milwaukee, St. Paul, Honolulu, Northampton, Massachusetts, Syracuse, Cohoes, New York, Hartford, and more.